Hello lovely people and welcome to another video. My name is Coco and I am in week 1 of my living on €100 a month challenge. When it comes to living on a budget, planning and organization is everything. Before I even go to the store, I look at my list with preferred meals. I choose up to 3 meals for the coming week. I calculate the prices of the ingredients. I write myself a list and then I go to the store, not beforehand. Just going to the store and buying things willy-nilly and then trying to figure out what to cook afterwards will not work.
And this is the plan that I made. You see here in the middle the meals that I chose: shepherd's pie, sweet potato curry, Caesar salad wraps, and breakfast in general. Then I wrote down all of the things that I need to buy on this side. And on the other side, I wrote down the ingredients that I still have at home and that I can use up. And with that shopping list, we're now gonna go shopping.
For this challenge, I decided to do most of my grocery shopping at Lidl. Because Lidl, just like Aldi, is one of the German supermarket chains that you can find in most countries of the European Union and even in the United States of America or in Australia. And apart from that, obviously, Lidl is one of the cheapest supermarkets in Germany.
And here, ladies and gentlemen, is our haul for this week. You saw me shopping at Lidl, where I bought a whole bag of onions and some garlic. Both organic, by the way, and with these we will probably get by for 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, who knows, we'll see. Then I also bought a bag of carrots, I bought potatoes, and the bananas, also organic and fair trade, by the way. Also a huge sweet potato, then 2 liters of no milk, so oat milk, and 1 bottle of passata, and this yogurt dressing. I usually make dressings myself, but this is for something specific. You will see later on. And let me see. Oh yes, the blueberries were also from Lidl. Also organic, by the way. Now at Lidl, I could not get everything. I wanted to get everything there, but they did not have, for example, regular spinach. So I had to buy that at Netto. They did have lots of spinach with cream, so with added seasoning, and I wanted just spinach, nothing added, so I had to go to Netto for that. And also at Netto I bought some curry paste, some Thai curry paste, and also the salad, because I don't know, but the selection of salads was so bad at Lidl. I think it was because I was there pretty late in the day and I think a lot of was already cleared out. But I found baby Romana salad at Netto as well, and it was actually half price, which is why I bought 2 packages. And over here we have what I paid for. Now actually the receipt for the Lidl haul, I get that online because I have the Lidl card, the bonus program. So I get that online, but I will just, put it here on the screen. I paid €17.73 at Lidl and then €4.46 at Netto. And that means we come to €22.19 for all of this goodness right here. I did clean out the pantry last week, but I will still use up some things from my pantry. For example, this sad rest of celery, because I don't want it to go to waste, so we will use it in one of the recipes. We will also use chickpeas, red lentils, some oats that I keep in this beautiful llama container, some rice, some flour, and some cashews. By the way, you might have seen that I wrote down prices here next to the ingredients that I had in my pantry, and also here in the middle. This is the price that I would have to pay at the shop for a certain amount of these goods. For example, here, a kilogram of rice for $1.59. And then I measured the amount of the ingredients that I will have to use in the different meals. And then I added the price for that here in the middle. Was a bit of work, but what do I do? What don't I do for you out there? So I added up the value of the pantry items, and that is €3.37. If you add that to the 22.19 euros that I paid at the store, you get 25.50 euros. So even with the pantry items, I am still approximately in my budget of 25 euros. For breakfast this week, we're gonna have overnight oats because honestly, I fell in love with them again. A few years ago, I had a phase where I basically ate oatmeal every day, and then I guess I had too much of it because I stopped eating them altogether. But for last week's video, I tried them again and I'm in love again. So we're gonna have oats. Basically, what you do for overnight oats, you take a glass or a container of some kind, you put in a few tablespoons of oats, about half a cup of oatmeal, you add maybe cinnamon or sugar or honey, whatever you'd like, and then you put it in the fridge overnight. And the next day you can top it with fruit or nuts or again, whatever you want, and then you eat it. But even if you just have the oats and the oat milk, it will be quite a nourishing breakfast. I have the bananas and the blueberries, so I can either top it with a banana in the morning or with half a cup of blueberries. I have 6 bananas, so I could have nearly the whole week oatmeal with bananas. But blueberries are also great, so I will try it with blueberries as well. The first recipe we're gonna cook is a chickpea and sweet potato curry. As you can see, I already took some of my dried chickpeas. I soaked them overnight and then cooked them for about 45 minutes, and now I have cooked chickpeas. I have one glass right here and another one in the fridge that I can use for a different recipe. Now, this curry is originally from Pickup Limes, so I will leave a link for you to that recipe in the description box below. What we will do first is we will peel and cut up some onions, some garlic, and the sweet potato. We will then take the onions and saute them in a little bit of oil in a pot. After a minute or two, we will add the garlic. We will let saute that as well for another minute or so, and then we will add about 50 grams of our Thai curry paste. We will let that get a little bit fragrant in the pot as well, and then we will add the chickpeas and the sweet potatoes, and then we will deviate a little bit from the original recipe. I have to tweak it because Pickup Limes uses coconut milk, and I do not like coconut milk in my cooking. I tried it, guys. I really tried it, but I didn't like it. So instead, we will use oat milk and cashew cream. For the cashew cream, it's very simple. Take a little bit of cashews, soak them in boiling hot water, and then mix them up in a Vitamix or in a Thermomix, whatever you have, and you have cashew cream. So we will put all of that in the pot as well, and then we will let it come to a boil. Pickup Limes also adds fresh spinach after 10 or 15 minutes when the curry has already, cooked for a little bit. I have frozen spinach, so I will add that sooner. It has to thaw, and then after 10 or 15 minutes of everything cooking, it should be good. Taste it for salt and pepper, and then serve it over white rice. And here we have the finished curry. I already tasted it, and I know all of the recipes that I've tried from Pickup Lime so far are good, but this is really, really good. And it's so fast to make. I only needed about 30 minutes and it's finished. And it's budget friendly as well. I added a little bit of sugar, but that is like really everything I added with the curry paste. It's very flavorful. I plated up 1 serving for myself right here. If I had to guess, I'd say this is 4 more servings. The original recipe says it is 4 servings, but again, I always feel like it's more. In any case, it is at least 4 servings. And it's so good. Now please, excuse me while I eat this curry. As our second meal, we will cook some shepherd's pie. And for me personally, the definition of shepherd's pie is some cooked ground meat at the bottom of an oven-safe dish, and then you put some mashed potatoes on top, and then you bake it in the oven until you get a nice crust. I know the Irish might disagree because they invented shepherd's pie and they might have a different idea, but for me, that's a shepherd's pie. And we will also cook it in a vegan version. For that, we will first cook a vegan bolognese, basically. For that, we will peel and cut up a lot of onions and garlic. The more, the better, because I want a lot of flavor. And then we will blitz up some carrots and the remaining celery in the Thermomix. We will first saute the onions and the garlic in a little bit of oil in a pot. We will add the celery and the carrots and just let that cook for a bit. And then we will add the passata and red lentils, about 150 to 200 grams of red lentils. We will also add all the spices that we want. Of course, salt and pepper, but also a little bit of sugar, maybe some Italian herbs, some soy sauce, some mushroom powder. I would also add Worcestershire sauce, but I finished my Worcestershire sauce and I forgot to buy a new one. So if you have Worcestershire sauce, add it. Makes it taste a lot meatier. All right, we will let that cook for about half an hour so that all the flavors can come together. And then in the meantime, we will also make some mashed potatoes. That is very easy. Basically, you cook potatoes, you drain them, you add some milk and some butter in the pot, you mash them until they are creamy, and you season them with salt and maybe some nutmeg. And then we will layer that into an oven-safe dish, the vegan bolognese at the bottom, mashed potatoes on top, and we will bake it in the oven at about 180 degrees Celsius, which I think is around 350 degrees Fahrenheit for, well, 20 to 30 minutes, as long as we need to get a nice crust at the top. You could also put some cheese on top if you have it, but since it's not in our budget, we will not use cheese. And here is the shepherd's pie fresh out of the oven. Look at that. There's a nice golden crust on top of it. And I have to admit, I think I might not have put enough mashed potatoes on top. The ratio is definitely more vegan bolognese and then less mashed potato on top. But it tastes very, very good. And that, even though I messed up because I wanted to put soy sauce in, and my soy sauce had been in the cupboard for a long time. And when I opened it, it made a weird sound and it kind of smoked. I don't know. Can soy sauce go bad? I didn't know, and Google was not sure, so I didn't want to risk it. So I did not put soy sauce in, but I did put in salt, pepper, Italian herbs, sugar, mushroom powder, also a little bit of white balsamic vinegar and balsamic cream, instead of the soy sauce. And also some paprika powder, some sweet paprika powder. I think that was it. Yeah. Oh, and a bouillon cube. Yes. So basically, when I cook something like that, I just throw in whatever I feel like, and it usually tastes good. And this is really, really, really good. I think it's interesting that the lentils are not total mush. Like red lentils usually fall apart within only like 10-20 minutes of cooking, and they still have a bite to them, which I like. But it surprises me. Anyway, I only plated up a little bit for me. I just wanted to taste it, but I already ate. So I will put the rest away. And as you can see, it's a lot. I would say this is 6 very generous portions or servings. It could be very well 8 smaller portions, depending on how much you like to eat. All right. Nom 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 nom. And the third meal we're going to cook are wraps that I used to buy from Domino's Pizza and that I think we can easily recreate. First of all, we're going to make some wraps, or I would say rather German pancakes in this case. I used to make tortillas myself for another video, and it was such a lot of work that I don't want to repeat that experience. Instead, I'm just going to make some good German pancakes. Now, just as a bit of information for you, German pancakes are somewhere in between French and American pancakes. But American pancakes are small round discs, quite thick and fluffy, and French crepes are very, very big and extremely thin. German pancakes are somewhere in the middle. So we're going to make these with only flour, some oat milk, a little bit of salt, and a little bit of sugar. That is actually all. 300 grams of flour, 450 milliliters of oat milk, just a pinch of salt, pinch of sugar, and we're going to mix that up and then bake the pancakes in a big pan. That's all. You could use butter, you could use vegan butter, you can use just a neutral kind of oil, whatever you prefer. Bake your pancakes in a pan and in that. Then, once the pancakes are done, we are gonna take the rest of the chickpeas that I cooked and we're gonna fry them in the same pan in a little bit of oil, and we're gonna add some spices. I think I want just salt, pepper, and sweet paprika powder. I think that is all I need. But personally, obviously, you could use any kind of spices that you like and that you have at home. Then we're gonna take the pancakes and fill them with our salad, our tomatoes, our chickpeas, and we're gonna add some croutinos that I had in the cupboard, and then we're gonna add the salad dressing. And I hope that this will taste like the wraps that we had from Domino's. All right, as you can see, I'm making myself a second one, and may I just say, this is so good. This is way better than I expected it to be. I was a little bit nervous because the pancakes are so not like tortillas, and I have to admit they are a little flimsy. They are not as durable as tortillas, so they ripped open. It was a mess eating it. But then again, eating wraps is always a mess, so I don't mind, but it tastes really, really good. To the chickpeas, I added not just paprika powder and salt and pepper, but also some onion and garlic powder, and that is delicious. I recommend it. And then you see, I just add the salad and the tomatoes, the chickpeas, some croutinos, and some dressing, and then you wrap it up and eat it, and it's delicious. It's not exactly like the ones I remember from Domino's, but oh, good. And the recipe for the pancakes makes 8 pancakes. Now, when I make pancakes, these German pancakes, the first 2 are always a weird shape and you just have to eat them straight away. I expect it to happen. So I had 6 pancakes left, and I think you need at least 2 as a serving, so that would be 3 servings. But I have enough flour and enough oat milk to make another batch of pancakes, and I also have more than enough salads and tomatoes to make a second batch of that. So I think we could easily get 6 servings out of all the ingredients for the pancakes, and that's not bad. Oh my god, this is good. I have to make this more often. Highly recommended, guys. Maybe if you want them to hold their shape better, maybe buy tortillas from the supermarket. I mean, they are cheap as well. You can buy them for like, I don't know, €1.60, I think. You can get a bag with 6 to 8 tortilla wraps. Then I think it's so much easier to eat. But I had the flour already at home, so I thought, why not make them myself? And honestly, it's just as good. It's just a bit messier, but I don't mind. All right, and now I'm gonna eat my second wrap. See you later.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, brings us to the end of this video. This was week 1, but a month has obviously 4 weeks. And next week, we will look at all the ingredients that we have left from this week. We will take another €25 and go shopping, and I'm extremely interested to see what other meals I can come up with on such a small budget. Thank you very much for watching this video. In case you liked it, feel free to give me one of these, or maybe comment, or maybe subscribe to my channel. I would personally appreciate it very, very much. Thank you again, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.